Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unlock complex ideas and, well, really hand you the keys to understanding.
Glad to be diving in.
Today, we are embarking on a really extraordinary journey. Imagine, just for a moment, that your inner world isn't just, a chaotic swirl of thoughts and feelings.
Which it sometimes feels like, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But imagine it's actually like a meticulously designed mansion full of hidden rooms, secret pathways.
Okay, I'm with you.
And what if ancient Hebrew words were the actual keys? Keys to unlock these spiritual dimensions inside you, offering a real practical map for healing and self-discovery.
It does sound a bit fantastical, doesn't it? Like something out of a story.
A little bit.
But, as we're going to explore today, this isn't just theory. It's a framework that's actually rooted in some pretty deep personal experiences.
Yeah.
It's a story of unexpected discovery.
Right.
And what's fascinating is this surprisingly consistent pattern that's been observed across many, many individuals. So this isn't about mere philosophy. It feels more like a universal blueprint. Our spiritual architecture just waiting to be explored.
Okay, let's really unpack this then. Where did this all begin? The genesis of what's now called Chay Life. It starts, believe it or not, in a park in France.
Right, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a time of stillness for many.
Exactly. And a researcher, Rodrigo Ardiaga, was simply studying a single verse from the Bible, Genesis 2:7, the creation of man.
A foundational verse.
And a simple question just popped into his head. What did the original Hebrew words in that specific verse truly mean? Like, what deeper layers might be hidden there?
And this wasn't just, some academic curiosity scratching an itch. No, it became intensely personal. See, Rodrigo's wife, Daniela, was going through a really debilitating period, severe low energy.
Oh, wow.
They'd been praying for months, trying all the conventional things, but nothing seemed to be shifting. So this linguistic question suddenly took on this profound urgency. It turned from a scholarly puzzle into a desperate search for healing for his wife.
So feeling like they'd exhausted their options, Rodrigo has what he calls a wild idea.
A bit out there, maybe?
What if focusing their prayer, not just generally, but on one of these specific Hebrew words, these ancient keys, what if that could actually make a tangible difference?
Leap of faith, really.
Totally. They decided to try it, and the very first door, as they now describe it, just dramatically swung open.
That's right. They asked Daniela's spirit to connect with the Hebrew word Yatsar, which means formed.
Okay.
And in that moment,
Yeah.
it wasn't just recalling a memory, she was powerfully transported to a spiritual dimension directly connected to her time in her mother's womb.
Wow. Not just thinking about it, but being there.
Exactly. It was a full-body, visceral experience. She relived the trauma of a perceived threat to her existence, this feeling of drowning, suffocating. She experienced her mother actually considering an abortion.
Oh my goodness.
And this profound encounter, it didn't just bring back a forgotten memory. It revealed the root cause of a lifelong unconscious fear of death she'd always carried. It allowed healing at this incredibly foundational level, right at the core.
That's just incredible. A real-time spiritual journey into her own past, not just memory. But okay, the discovery didn't stop there, did it?
No, it kept unfolding. They decided to try another word from the verse, Neshamah, which means breath.
Okay, different word, different meaning.
And this word unlocked a completely different dimension. It had its own unique theme, its own landscape, if you will.
So what happened with Neshamah?
When Daniela entered this new dimension, she saw this empty space. And she instantly understood it represented a quiver, but without any arrows.
A quiver without arrows. What did that mean to her?
The imagery just spoke volumes. It represented the absence of her father's blessing and affirmation in her life, that vital sense of being sent out, with purpose and direction.
Wow.
So this experience really underscored that each dimension seems to point to some fundamental, universal aspect of being human, revealing areas that might be unaddressed, maybe unhealed, but are actually crucial for our wholeness.
And this is where it gets really compelling for everyone listening, right? Because as Rodrigo and Daniela kept exploring all 10 of these words from Genesis 2:7,
Yeah, 10 of them.
a consistent pattern started to emerge, something reproducible.
Yes, and this is key. Other individuals, when they were guided only by these specific Hebrew words, without any prior expectation, without knowing what they should encounter,
Just the word itself.
just the word, they consistently accessed the same thematic dimensions. They found the womb connection in Yatsar. They encountered the father's affirmation theme in Neshamah, They tapped into true identity in Adam
Across different people.
across different people. This strongly suggested that what Danielle experienced wasn't just unique to her. It seemed they were tapping into a universal framework, a kind of spiritual map embedded within every single human being.
That consistency is really the clincher, isn't it?
It really was. It indicated that these words act almost like sound frequencies, or maybe portals to specific structured spiritual dimensions within the human soul. And eventually, Daniela had this powerful vision that sort of synthesized everything. She saw a long, illuminating hallway,
Okay.
which came to be known as the Chay hallway. And off this hallway were 10 distinct doors, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, creating this clear, navigable map for inner healing and self-discovery.
So what does all of this mean for you listening right now? Today, we're going to take you on an immersive journey through this incredible inner mansion.
We're going inside.
We're going inside. We'll explore the 11 dimensions of Chay. And we'll look at the profound biblical verses that don't just explain them, but actually expand their significance, offering you potentially practical keys to unlock your own inner world.
Get ready to discover the intricate, really divine design of your own spiritual architecture.
Okay, let's start by understanding the basic architecture of this inner mansion. The word Chay itself, what does that mean?
Chay means life in Hebrew. It's very similar to the Greek word zoe. It signifies life in its fullest, most vibrant sense, divine life, really.
And the entire framework is named after it. Chay Life.
Exactly. And the mansion concept is absolutely central to grasping this. Your spiritual architecture, it's envisioned as a house.
Right.
With a central corridor, that's the Chay hallway we just mentioned.
Okay.
And then 10 distinct chambers or dimensions branching off from it.
10 rooms?
10 rooms. And each of these represents a crucial area of your life, an aspect of your spiritual self. And fascinatingly, it's also seen as a spiritual place that is actually accessible in eternity.
So like a part of heaven within us.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Structured for growth and connection
Yeah.
right here, right now.
And what's really ingenious, you mentioned, is the organization. These 10 chambers aren't just random. They're governed by something called the Hebrew fractal of 2, or HF2. What does that mean, a fractal?
Right, HF2. Think of a fractal like a pattern that repeats itself at different scales. You see them in nature all the time.
Like snowflakes or coastlines?
Exactly. It suggests this profound order and self-similarity throughout creation. So in this context, HF2 means the first 5 rooms, the ones on the left side of the Chay hallway.
Okay, the left side?
They embody what we can call feminine energy. Now, this isn't about gender in the biological sense.
Right, it's principles.
It's universal principles like receiving, encoding information, nurturing growth that often happens underground or internally, like a seed developing in the soil.
Okay, receiving, internal, and the right side.
Conversely, the 5 rooms on the right side embody masculine energy. Again, not gender specific, but reflecting principles of giving, decrypting information, manifesting growth that's visible above ground, or externally, like a plant reaching for the sun.
Giving external expression.
Exactly. And the Chay hallway itself, that central corridor, represents the vital balance, the dynamic flow between these 2 essential energies within every single one of us. It's the integration point, where inner reception meets outer expression.
And importantly, for healing and transformation, you don't just jump around randomly, right? There's an order.
That's right. These dimensions are typically restored in a very specific, progressive sequence. The healing and restoration of one dimension often builds upon the work done in the previous ones. It creates this cumulative journey towards wholeness.
Like building blocks.
Precisely. It's a structured, intelligent approach to inner well-being, designed for sustainable, deep-rooted change, not just a quick fix.
Okay, that's a fantastic overview. So with this incredible blueprint in mind, let's metaphorically step through the very first door of this inner mansion. 1. Yatsar, the formation of our divine life. Door 1 left.
Door number 1.
The first door you encounter on the left side of the Chay hallway, Yatsar, Hebrew for formed or shaped. As Daniela's experience showed, it's deeply connected to our formation in the womb, the very beginning of life, our original blueprint. So what's the profound purpose here? What unfolds when we step into Yatsar?
Well, the divine purpose here is fundamentally about shaping our life. Healing in Yatsar helps us cultivate this deep, intrinsic love for life itself. And it instills the belief that we can actively co-create, that we can shape the life of our dreams with God.
Co-creation.
Yes, we possess what's called a spiritual womb within us, a powerful capacity to conceive and bring forth divine ideas, projects, callings. So when Yatsar is fully restored, it provides the fertile ground, the space to conceive these things that will later be birthed into our lives. It's not just a memory of formation, it's a living, active foundation for all future creation.
It sounds very much like that feminine energy you described, receiving, nurturing the seed.
Pure feminine energy at play here.
Exactly.
Reception and nurturing.
So what does this dimension feel like if someone encounters it? You mentioned feminine energy, the start of relating to our inner self. What kind of visions come up?
Visions often include experiences that feel like being in a womb, or being surrounded by comforting water, warmth, sometimes even a profound light at the end of a tunnel, almost like a spiritual birth into a new self-understanding.
Wow.
People might also see beautiful gardens, precious jewels, or feel this sudden surge of creativity. Initially, though, it can feel a bit messy.
Messy? How so?
Well, reflecting the raw, unrefined process of divine formation, like clay being molded by the potter. It's not perfectly smooth at first.
Okay. And what about obstacles? What hinders healing in Yatsar?
Obstacles often manifest as visions of darkness, confinement, a feeling of being apretado, constricted, tight, or experiencing deep angustia, anguish, distress.
Like Daniela felt.
Exactly. It reflects a primal sense of threat or restriction during our earliest formation. There can also be external blocks, like what's called a false Yatsar, maybe distorted beliefs about our origins we've picked up, or mental strongholds that just prevent access or healing.
So the journey is from feeling trapped to freedom.
Profound freedom and spaciousness. That's the goal. And it's quite different from, say, Nefesh, a later dimension where things are more established, solidified. Yatsar is all about that malleable early stage, like clay in the potter's hands, constantly being shaped by God.
That image of malleable clay is so powerful, it suggests it's not just a one-time event, but ongoing transformation. Let's bring in some scripture, Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 6. It asks, "Can I not do with you, Israel, as this potter does? Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel." How did that connect?
So this verse is absolutely fundamental to understanding Yatsar. It establishes God as the El Ferrero, the potter, who doesn't just form us initially, but continually molds and reshapes us throughout our entire existence.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing. Yatsar is about recognizing this divine process in our lives. It empowers us to participate, to co-create from that spiritual womb within, confident that we are always in his capable hands, always being refined.
And this idea of Yatsar being foundational, preparatory, that seems echoed in 2 Timothy 2.21. It talks about becoming a vessel for honor, made holy and useful to the master, prepared for every good work. That really highlights Yatsar setting us up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's all about that initial cleansing and shaping, becoming capable of actually containing and then manifesting God's blessings. By allowing ourselves to be formed and cleansed in Yatsar, we become those vessels of honor, ready, available for his purposes. It truly underscores Yatsar's role in shaping our life by refining our inner vessel.
And then Psalm 118, verse 5, seems to capture the healing journey itself. "Out of my distress I called on the Lord. The Lord answered me and set me in a spacious place."
Yes, it vividly describes the transformation so often experienced in Yatsar. Remember those obstacles? Feelings of darkness, confinement, anguish.
Right, the apretado feeling.
This psalm perfectly captures the shift from that kind of distress to being placed in a spacious place, which in Yatsar visions often appears as a beautiful garden, full of light, freedom, creativity. It's the move from feeling trapped to finding liberating expansion. That's the promise of healing Yatsar.
What a powerful start. Leaving the waters and clay of Yatsar, our journey continues. Door number 2. Eeth, where hope and dreams grow. Door 2 left.
The second door on the left.
Eeth. Now, this is a fascinating Hebrew word. It's often untranslated in Scripture, serving more of a grammatical purpose. But here, in the Chay framework, it's this vital second door, opening up to our capacity for hope, our deepest longings, our dreams. What is Eeth designed to cultivate within us?
Its divine purpose is beautifully titled, Where Your Hopes Grow. Eeth functions like a spiritual warehouse, or maybe a meticulously cultivated garden inside you. A place to store, cultivate, organize your projects, your dreams.
Like a workshop for the future.
Exactly. It's where we actively begin downloading plans from heaven to earth. By intentionally connecting our spirit with our mind, allowing divine inspiration to actually take root and get organized. Think of it as the feminine part of our brain, our intuition, specifically designed for receiving and encoding future information, the blueprints of our destiny.
So when someone enters their Eeth dimension, what kind of landscape might they find? You mentioned a warehouse, gardens.
Right. Visions might include a warehouse, but an organized one with shelves. Or vibrant farms, gardens brimming with fruit trees, maybe animals suggesting purposeful cultivation and order.
Okay.
The healing focus here is on organizing, sorting through the objects that represent your projects, discerning what truly belongs to your legacy, like your children, your studies, your unique tools, versus things that don't belong there, maybe external pressures or old expectations from others.
Clarifying your birthright.
Exactly. And developing the specific tools needed to actually step into it.
And the obstacles. What happens when Oth isn't healthy?
Obstacles often appear as, well, the opposite of that order. A disorganized warehouse, maybe cluttered. Or a neglected garden, choked with unwanted objects, weeds. This disarray directly hinders our ability to connect with our future, to clearly see and cultivate our legacy.
It's like having a brilliant idea but no system to manage it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And comparing to Yatsar, where the seed of life is planted, Eeth is where those seeds are nurtured, where we grow the tools for our dreams. Its parallel dimension, Hayah, that's dimension 9, will later be the place of dynamic action, where these cultivated strategies are actually implemented, put into motion.
That progression makes so much sense. Seed, cultivation, action. Like a spiritual blueprint workshop. Let's look at some scriptures that illuminate Eeth. Psalm 37, verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. How does that fit?
This verse directly links our delight in God with the granting of our deepest desires of our heart. Eeth is precisely the spiritual storage place for these desires and dreams. It is that warehouse where our hopes reside. Delighting in God within this dimension seems to facilitate a divine flow, allowing those heavenly plans to be downloaded to earth and actively cultivated for manifestation. It's a beautiful synergy between inner desire and divine provision.
Then Hebrews 11.1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see.
The very essence of Eeth, right there. Eeth is all about hope, connecting with future dreams. This verse beautifully defines a faith as the certainty of what is hoped for, even assurance about what is not seen.
Things not yet visible.
Exactly. Eeth is the spiritual space where we actively cultivate these future aspirations that aren't yet visible to the eye, but are held with conviction in our spirit. This active cultivation of unseen hopes is absolutely vital for developing the practical tools we need to step into our divine birthright.
And Romans 8, verses 24 and 25. For in this hope we were saved, but hope that is seen is no hope at all. But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently. That speaks to the active, patient cultivation in Eeth, doesn't it?
Absolutely central to Eeth. This passage explains hope as focused on what is not seen and on the coming glory. Eeth is the precise spiritual space where we cultivate these future hopes, even when we're facing current difficulties. It empowers us to patiently await the manifestation, nurturing those unseen aspirations, and developing the character needed for their arrival.
Such a rich tapestry of hope and future vision. Okay, from the organized plans of Eeth, we now move deeper to a dimension asking us to examine the very substance of our being. 3. Aphar, essence, substance, and origin, or to left.
The third door on the left, Aphar.
Aphar, the Hebrew word for dust, which sounds humble, but it's far from insignificant, isn't it? This dimension connects us deeply with ourselves, our community, our very DNA, our generational line. It's about understanding the core of who we are, the fine quality of the raw materials. What's the divine purpose here?
Its divine purpose is aptly titled, Discovering What I Am Made Of. Aphar helps us understand our profound importance, our inherent value within both the spiritual and the physical community. It focuses on truly loving who we are by seeing the intrinsic worth of our substance, the stuff we're made of, and the treasures it carries within.
Accepting ourselves at a deep level.
At the deepest genetic and spiritual level, purifying and strengthening our identity and origins. This dimension, being on the feminine side, is where we truly connect with our inner community, our body, its intricate parts, our ancestral lineage.
So what might a journey into Aphar reveal? What kind of visions?
Visions often include a spiral staircase, which immediately brings to mind the elegant structure of DNA, or deep wells, soft sand, malleable clay. You might even see speckles of silver or gold, precious gems. Feel a sense of purity, profound depth, maybe like a tranquil ocean.
Beautiful imagery.
And the healing focus is on purifying and strengthening that identity and origin, truly accepting the fine quality of the materials you're made of. It's about recovering blocked gifts, talents, maybe even anointings that are rightfully yours, reconnecting with your body and your ancestral blessings in a healthy way.
And the obstacles. What gets in the way in Aphar?
Obstacles often revolve around issues with purity and connectedness with your origins, or maybe just a struggle to accept your inherent substance, perhaps feeling unworthy, flawed, not good enough.
comparing it to its parallel, Adam.
Right. Adam is dimension 8. Aphar focuses on this inner community body, DNA, family background. Adam deals more with our self-perception in relation to the external community. Healing in Aphar is essential to truly value how meticulously God made us, right down to our spiritual DNA.
The imagery of dust and clay takes on such new meaning here. From common to precious, let's explore some scriptures. Psalm 139, verse 16. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be.
This verse is absolutely central to Aphar. It highlights God's intricate, predestined creation of our substance, our very essence, even before it was fully formed.
Written in his book.
Exactly. The divine record of our being. This aligns perfectly with Aphar's connection to our DNA, the recognition of our intrinsic value, our divine design. It affirms the excellent, precious quality of the materials we're made from, ensures we know we are no accident.
And then 3 John 1.2, Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. How does that connect to our substance?
Well, this passage links prosperity and health to the flourishing of our soul. In Aphar, the healing process helps recover those gifts, talents, anointings that might be blocked or dormant within our substance.
Right.
So by restoring Aphar, by truly accepting and loving our essence, we contribute to our general prosperity, the holistic health of our entire being, including the soul. It underscores that profound truth. Your body responds to the relationship you have with it. Internal harmony impacts everything.
And Isaiah 1.18, Come now, let us settle the matter, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red as crimson, they shall be like wool. Purification.
Radical purification. The Chay Life texts explicitly state that in Aphar, our DNA can be cleansed. This image of profound purification, transformation from a deep stain to pristine white, directly aligns with Aphar's core challenge of purity and connection with your origins. It's about restoring our original pure essence, removing any generational or personal contaminations.
Incredible. From the very substance of our being, we now turn inwards to the sanctuary of our hearts. 4. Adamah, sanctuary of the heart and deepest longings. Door 4 left.
Door number 4, still on the left.
Adamah, meaning soil or earth in Hebrew. This one's intimately connected to our heart, serving as a refuge, a secret sanctuary for our concerns where we feel accepted, loved by God. What sacred purpose does this room of love fulfill?
Its divine purpose is to help us in discovering my deepest longings and the beating of my heart. This dimension, truly known as the Habitation de l'Amour, the room of love, it's a special place where we connect intimately with ourselves and with God, feeling utterly safe, deeply loved.
A true sanctuary.
Exactly. It's about restoring this inner space from any damage, or maybe from being overly protected by walls we've built up over time. The goal is to make it an ideal sanctuary, decorated to your personal taste, reflecting the unique beauty of your spiritual heart. This is the feminine side of our spiritual heart, where love is experienced as an inner movement, fostering self-love, nurturing our relationship with the Father.
Being such an intimate space, I imagine one obstacle is just finding it, or finding it in bad shape.
That's very common. Difficulty finding or accessing the secret place, or discovering it in ruins, or maybe overly protected like there's a spiritual drawbridge or thick walls. Visions here are incredibly cozy and personal. The room of love itself, a hidden entrance, maybe a fireplace that acts as an altar to transmute ashes into beauty, turning past regrets into something beautiful. You might see comfortable sofas, beautiful furniture, perhaps even interior waterfalls or lush gardens, a really cozy atmosphere.
And the healing focus.
Restoring this room to its ideal state, surrendering unwanted outcomes or unfulfilled desires to God right there, and even including your most loved ones in this sacred, safe space.
And it connects to Aphar, it's parallel.
Yes. Adamah and Aphar, dimension 7, are both parts of our spiritual heart. Adamah is where we receive love, get nourished by it. Aphar is where that love flows outward from us. And that fireplace in Adamah is vital. It transmutes what we surrender, preparing it to be expressed through Aphar. That transformation from ashes into beauty is central, bringing all our pain, unfulfilled longings to God in this inner sanctuary, knowing He will transform them.
What a beautiful, comforting place to imagine within ourselves. Let's explore the scriptures related to Adamah. Luke 8.15. But the seed on good soil represents those who hear the word with a good and upright heart, retain it, and by persevering, produce a crop.
Adamah means earth or ground, and it's linked to the heart. This verse draws that direct parallel. A good and upright heart is like good soil that produces abundant fruit. A restored Adamah, our room of love, becomes this fertile ground, allowing God's love and truths to take deep root, grow, and bear lasting fruit within us, cultivating an internal environment where His Word flourishes.
Then Ecclesiastes 3.11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He's also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end.
This deeply resonates with Adamah's purpose of discovering my deepest longings. It speaks of the eternity that God has set in the human heart, that innate sense of the eternal within us. In Adamah, we connect with these profound yearnings and with God Himself in that safe, loved space, addressing and exploring this eternal dimension of our being, finding peace even in the unfathomable.
And Psalm 91.1. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Security.
Adamah is indeed a place of refuge, a secret place with God. This verse describes the very security, protection, profound love that are sought and found in a restored Adamah. It's where one can truly find refuge and safety in God's presence, feeling completely enveloped by His care, shielded from external turmoil.
Proverbs 20.5 offers a really insightful connection. The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but a person of understanding draws them out.
Yes, this verse directly connects the heart of a person with deep waters, perfectly matching Adamah's function as a place of profound internal depth and reception. The first part, the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, is specifically identified as representing the feminine heart, Adamah, highlighting its nature as a wellspring of internal wisdom and hidden longings, just waiting to be drawn out and understood.
So much depth hidden within our own hearts. Okay, let's explore the fifth and final door on this feminine side, completing our journey through these foundational receptive dimensions. 5. Naphach. The breath of the Father and the immensity of the universe. Door 5 left.
The last door on the left, Naphach.
Naphach, meaning to blow in Hebrew. This dimension aims to instill a profound sense of awe. Awe in God's works, discovering the universe, strengthening us in God's frequencies of love. What is Naphach's deepest purpose?
Its divine purpose is to help us in listening to my Father's heartbeat. In Naphach, we're meant to encounter God's marvelous creations and realize, with awe, that the universe was made for us to discover and grow within its boundless expanse.
Made for us.
A restored Naphach significantly strengthens us in God's love frequencies. It provides this foundation of awe and wonder that just recalibrates our whole perspective. It's described as the feminine side of Neshamah, almost like a male womb, if you can picture that.
Okay.
Developing our capacity to receive and believe without limits, just as God Himself is boundless. It prepares us for the masculine expression that comes next in Neshamah.
So visions in Nefesh, the universe itself.
Often, yes. The universe may be a quiver, like for arrows, sometimes an empty or dark space, conveying a powerful sense of freedom, vastness, an overwhelming feeling of awe.
And the healing.
The healing focus is on surrendering to God's immense hand, rediscovering the blessing of our very existence in this magnificent universe, and crucially, releasing any power we've consciously or unconsciously derived from sources other than God.
Letting go of false power sources.
Exactly. This allows us to gain true freedom and expand as far and high as possible. It's about building immense faith and courage by framing our problems not from our limited view, but around a big God.
You mentioned it can appear dark and empty initially. That doesn't sound great.
Well, it isn't necessarily negative. It often signifies a need for spiritual space and freedom, a vast emptiness waiting to be filled by God's presence. However, when unrestored, this dimension commonly reveals things like witchcraft, religiousness, man-made doctrines.
Why those things?
Because they introduce artificial limitations, human-derived control, fear-based dogma. They prevent us from truly experiencing God's boundless nature, His immense love. They hinder our spiritual expansion.
Okay. And you contrasted Naphach and Neshamah regarding breath.
Right, both relate to breath. But Naphach is the space and strength for air to come out, like the vast capacity of our lungs. Neshamah, which is next, is the actual air or blessing itself coming out. Capacity versus flow.
Got it. Capacity versus flow. Let's look at scriptures for Naphach. Hebrews 11.3. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible.
Absolutely fundamental for Naphach, whose purpose is listen to my Father's heartbeat and marvel at His works, discover the universe. This verse powerfully reinforces that immensity and awe, encouraging us to frame our problems around a big God and believe without limits, reminding us the visible world, all its vastness, was made from the invisible, boundless possibility, God's infinite power.
Next, Isaiah 49, verses 1, 2, and 5. The Lord called me from the room. He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. He made me a polished arrow. He hid me in his quiver. For I am honored in the eyes of the Lord, and my God has been my strength. The quiver again.
Yes, it deepens that quiver imagery, linking it directly to God's call and divine protection from before birth. In Nefesh, focused on listening to my Father's heartbeat. This highlights how the Father gives us space to grow, protects us, strengthens us even within his vastness. It reflects a divine design of welcome and awe in the universe, emphasizing our strength comes from God, liberating us from reliance on other limited power sources. A sense of being purposefully, safely held in his grand design.
And finally, for Naphach, John 20.22, and with that he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit."
Since Naphach means to blow, Jesus' act here is a powerful, direct image of Naphach's essence. A profound connection with the divine breath, the very life force of God. The goal in Naphach is to depend entirely on God's strength, receiving his breath of life for understanding, direction, leading to an experience of vast spiritual spaces and liberating freedom. It's the breath of God expanding our capacity for him.
From the awe of the universe, we now metaphorically cross the threshold. We're leaving the feminine side of the Chay hallway, stepping into the masculine side. 6. Neshamah, divine breath and perfect maturity. Door 6, right?
Door number 6. First one on the right, opposite Naphach.
Neshamah.
Neshamah, also meaning breath in Hebrew. This dimension is all about our growth, our maturity as sons and daughters of God. What's the profound purpose here, especially following Naphach?
The divine purpose of Neshamah is to make us complete and perfect to the measure of my Creator. Maturity here is presented as a direct result of receiving the blessing of our Father's breath in our lives. The Father's breath.
Yes, it ensures we have the necessary divine breath, the activating energy to reach the full measure, the full stature that our Heavenly Father designed for us. This dimension represents active, expressive masculine energy, characterized by that which gives or comes out, specifically, the breath or blessing received from our Father.
So what might someone encounter in Neshamah? How does it manifest?
Visions often include empty spaces, maybe a hole or a tube without air, like a bicycle with flat tires, or a ship just stalled, needing wind, all indicating a lack that needs filling.
Okay.
A restored Neshamah, however, shows overflowing blessings, clear direction, a palpable sense of being filled, prosperous, maybe moving up a mountain with strength or sailing smoothly with purpose.
And the healing, it's about receiving that breath.
Exactly. Receiving that crucial paternal blessing to fill the empty spaces, igniting dreams, providing the energetic propulsion needed for spiritual movement and growth. It's about overcoming doubts with faith to truly receive this vital life force from the Father.
The key obstacle, then, is the absence of that breath.
Precisely. Missing air, wind, or breath, symbolizing a lack of the Father's blessing or affirmation. This leads to vacuity, feeling unanchored, lacking direction. Neshamah is considered a point of inflection or a pivotal door for divine alignment.
Maybe how?
Because while Yatsar relates to the mother's role in our arrival, Neshamah relates to the Father blessing us into maturity, releasing us into our purpose. It's the first dimension on the right, initiating and developing us for the subsequent masculine dimensions. It's the actual air coming out, the outward flow of blessing, contrasting Naphach as the space and strength for that air.
Such a powerful connection to the Father's blessing as the catalyst for maturity. Let's explore the scriptures. Job 26.4. With whose help have you uttered words, and whose spirit, Neshamah, has come forth from your mouth?
This verse directly connects our words to the Neshamah, the spirit or breath that gives them strength, particularly blessings and pronouncements. In Neshamah, focused on paternal blessings and maturity, this underscores the profound power of the breath or spirit behind what is spoken and received, especially from a father figure, highlighting the divine essence, empowering communication and blessing, how we draw from a greater source.
Then Isaiah 30.33. Its fire pit has been made deep and wide. The breath of the Lord, like a stream of burning sulfur, sets it ablaze. Fiery breath.
Yes, that evocative image, the breath of the Lord igniting a powerful fire. This relates directly to how a father's blessings or God's divine breath can ignite our dreams, provide the necessary energy to pursue them, set us ablaze with purpose. In Neshamah, the Father's breath fills voids, drives growth and maturity, inspires us towards fulfillment, a fiery passion for our calling.
And James 1 verses 6 and 7. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Faith is key.
Absolutely crucial. This emphasizes the importance of faith when receiving from the Lord. In Neshamah, the breath in the Chay dimensions gives us courage and direction. Lack of paternal blessing can cause that emptiness, misdirection, like a ship without wind. Faith in God's breath, in the Father's blessing, restores the confidence and clarity needed to move forward decisively, not tossed by doubt.
What an incredible journey of inner strengthening and growth. From the Father's activating breath in Neshamah, we move on to another dimension intricately tied to the breath of God, but with a different focus. 7. Eeth, breathing the breath of God. Door 7.
Door number 7 on the right, Eeth.
Eeth, meaning nostrils in Hebrew. Just like our physical nostrils bring in oxygen, this dimension focuses on our direct connection with the breath of God, and just as importantly, disconnecting from other breaths, those non-divine dependencies. What is Eeth's profound purpose?
Its divine purpose is simply the place to breathe God's breath. Aphar aims to reestablish our intimate connection with His breath and liberate us from other influences. It's a dedicated space to spend intentional time with God, allowing ourselves to be deeply infused with His presence, His life. This is the masculine side of our heart, where love, having been received and nurtured back in Adamah,
And the left side.
now shines outward, an active expression of care, connection with our environment.
So in Aphar, what might we encounter? You mentioned key elements.
Yes, typically the pinwheel, which functions like a spiritual lung, drawing in God's breath. The crystalline river of your life, representing the pure flow of divine vitality. And the lush field of peace, a vibrant landscape of inner tranquility.
The pinwheel, like a child's toy.
Sort of, but powerful. A spinning, four-bladed object, ideally on a cliff overlooking the river, actively rotating, powered by God's breath. The healing focus here is restoring these elements, clearing the river, cultivating the field of peace, ensuring your pinwheel is strong and turning, and crucially, disconnecting from those other breaths, dependencies on people, negative news, adverse thoughts, the adversary's influence.
And fear of love.
Yes, overcoming the fear of love, often symbolized by melting ice and visions, is key here, allowing love to flow freely outward.
And the obstacles. What hinders Aphar?
Often damaged, misplaced, even fake pinwheels, or unwanted structures, unrighteous animals in the landscape, indicating a persistent dependency on those other breaths from the world, from man, from the adversary, hindering the pure flow of God's life. This dimension specifically reinforces the teaching against the four breaths: world, man, adversary, and ultimately God's.
So it's about choosing the right source.
Exactly. Aphar prepares us for Adam, Hayah, and Nefesh, building on Neshamah's blessings. It's where the love received in Adamah is transmuted and actively expressed outward.
A place of profound spiritual cleansing, realignment. Let's dive into the scriptures. Starting with Psalm 23. Green pastures, quiet waters.
When Aphar is restored, it's often visualized with that crystalline river of your life, an exuberant field of peace, a powerful spinning pinwheel infused with God's breath. These images directly evoke the Psalm's promise of divine rest, abundant provision, peaceful guidance. Aphar becomes a tangible spiritual space to experience God's peace and sustenance, reflecting the shepherd's faithful care as his breath fills you and flows outward.
Next, Proverbs 4.23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flings from it. The heart again.
This proverb highlights the heart's supreme importance as the vital source from which life flows. Aphar is intrinsically connected to the spiritual heart. Its purpose is ensuring God's breath of life flows freely both into and out of us. This revitalizes all areas of life and serves to actively protect the heart itself as the true wellspring of our existence, ensuring what flows from us is pure, life-giving.
And a very direct connection in Job 27.3. As long as my breath is in me and the Spirit's God is in my nostrils, Aphar.
Explicitly connects to Aphar, mentioning the Spirit of God in my nostrils. Powerfully reinforces Aphar as the place to breathe God's breath, highlighting the divine source of breath and life in this specific spiritual region. A literal and metaphorical reminder of our direct, intimate access to His life-giving Spirit, drawing it in continually.
Finally, a powerful warning, Isaiah 2.22. Stop trusting in mere humans who have but a breath in their nostrils. Why hold them in esteem?
This directly warns against trusting humans, noting human breath is finite, fleeting. In stark contrast, Aphar's core purpose is to disconnect from other breaths, release dependencies not from God, and connect anew with His breath. A powerful reminder. The only breath truly worth depending on is the breath of life from the Father, reinforcing that only divine dependence leads to true life and freedom, not transient influences.
What a vital dimension for anchoring our life in God's eternal breath. Let's move to our next door, where we discover who we truly are in His eyes. 8. Adam. Discovering divine identity and purpose. Door 8, right?
Door number 8 on the right, Adam.
Adam, meaning man, or humanity in general. This dimension is all about seeing ourselves as God sees us. embracing our true identity, our divine calling. What's the fundamental purpose unfolding here?
The divine purpose is titled, Finding Myself, Who I Am, and Who I Meant to Be. It's a profound journey where our Father in heaven seeks to remind us of our true, original identity and the incredible capabilities he has placed within us.
Shedding distorted perceptions.
Exactly, aligning with his perfect, unwavering vision for our lives. This dimension, embodying masculine energy, relates to manifesting, expressing the pure light that resides within us. Stemming directly from our spiritual DNA, the lifeblood of Christ. It's about confidently shining out our light into the world.
So when you enter your Adam dimension, what might you encounter? You mentioned mirrors.
Yes, often a room of mirrors. False mirrors reflecting distorted perceptions maybe of parents, society, but then one true mirror reflecting God's pure view of us.
How might that look?
Perhaps seeing yourself as pure light, radiating strength, or embodying the Son of God. You might also see special clothing, signifying a new garment of identity, or hills and ponds reflecting your true, unblemished self-image. Maybe even encountering famous figures representing the inherent importance within you.
And the healing focus.
Actively getting rid of anything that distorts our self-perception. Embracing our true identity as a new creation in God. Overcoming those negative self-images that have held us captive.
What are the common obstacles here, those distorted mirrors?
Those are the most common, reflecting false images projected onto us by others, by our past, by culture. Adam is parallel to Aphar, Dimension 3. Remember, Aphar is about our inner community, family background, DNA.
Right.
Adam focuses on the external perspective, how we perceive ourselves in relation to the wider community, our divine purpose. And the eighth day significance is crucial.
And number 8.
As the eighth door, Adam aligns with the biblical meaning of 8, representing a new beginning, a new cycle, resurrection, new creation, powerfully reflecting our true identity in Christ. And the continuous breath of God from Aphar is vital to maintain the correct, undistorted vision of who we are in Adam.
Seeing ourselves through God's eyes, incredibly transformative. Let's explore the scriptures. Genesis 1:28. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule," the dominion mandate.
Exactly. This verse establishes humanity's original identity and divine purpose right at creation. In Adam, as we seek to find myself, these words powerfully recall our innate blessing, our fundamental call to fruitfulness, expansion, dominion. Restoring Adam means aligning with this foundational divine identity and purpose, discarding distortions that prevent us from seeing our inherent value, authority, the glorious mandate God gave us, a return to our true, powerful design.
And 1 Peter 2:9, that profound declaration. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light.
This offers such a complete declaration of the believer's identity.
Mm-hmm.
Chosen people, royal priesthood, holy nation, God's special possession, with the clear purpose to declare the praises of him who called you. This is the essence of what Adam seeks to restore, our true identity as children of God, called to reflect his light, his character, freeing us from false ideas, empowering us to walk in our royal authority.
From discovering our identity, we move to receiving the practical provision and strategies to live it out. 9. Hayah, divine provision for purpose, door 9. Door 9 on the right. Hayah.
Hayah, from the Hebrew verb to become or to be, translated became in Genesis 2:7. This dimension connects us with our true gifts and talents, enabling us to build resources and take action for our divine inheritance. What's the profound purpose unfolding here? The divine purpose of Hayah is receiving the necessary provision for what comes next.
Yeah.
It's the vital place where what we are called to do in life truly comes forth, where the impossible genuinely becomes possible.
How so?
Because each person has a unique divine call. Only they can accomplish what they were designed for. Hayah is all about focused, inspired action, expressing confidence, life-giving energy, true masculine energy in motion, where intention meets manifestation.
So Hayah is characterized by action, movement, change. What visions appear?
Yes, action, movement, change, strategic transformation. Visions might include a variety of flowers needing change and the tools to do it, a horse searching for hidden treasure, a ship captain using a spyglass and maps to navigate, even a treasure chest filled with clothing for different spiritual seasons.
And the healing focus is overcoming inaction.
Exactly. Overcoming the common internal obstacles of fear or that desire for perfection before taking action. Embracing active movement forward. Discovering and acting on our unique purpose. Realizing impossible things can become possible through divine strategy and provision. Ultimately changing circumstances by changing our actions, guided by God.
What are the main obstacles here, then? Fear and perfectionism.
Those are the big ones,
Yeah.
leading to excessive waiting, procrastination, spiritual inaction. Hayah is parallel to Eeth, dimension 2. Remember, Eeth cultivates hope, prepares tools.
Right, the warehouse.
Hayah is where we take action and release those tools and strategies into reality. Eeth is the seed nurtured underground. Hayah is the plant powerfully emerging above ground, bearing fruit. It's the doing in the be, do, have sequence. Adam is be, identity. Nefesh next is have, manifestation. Knowing who you are in Adam makes it much easier to confidently do what you're called to in Hayah.
From inspiration to strategic action, pivotal indeed. Let's look at scriptures. Psalm 32.8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Divine guidance.
This profoundly underscores the divine guidance God offers. In Hayah, where the goal is receiving provisions and strategies for what's next, God's promise to instruct and guide is fundamental. It assures us we're not alone in discovering and acting on our purpose, helping us overcome that paralyzing fear or perfectionism, ensuring our actions align perfectly with His will, not just our own frantic efforts.
And Proverbs 13.1, a longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul.
Connects directly with the satisfaction, the joy of fulfilling desires and purposes. In Hayah, focusing on bringing forth our calling, making the impossible possible, a longing fulfilled, represents the tangible fruit of inspired actions and received provision. It strongly encourages focused action, knowing manifestation brings that deep sweetness and fullness to the soul.
What a beautiful promise of fulfillment, divine partnership. Okay, let's step into the final door on the right side of our inner mansion where all this inner work culminates. 10. Nefesh, the manifestation of true riches. Door 10, right.
The 10th and final door on the right, Nefesh.
Nefesh, meaning soul or living being. This dimension is related to our life projects finally coming to fruition, moving from conception back in Yatsar, all the way to birth and full manifestation. What does Nefesh ultimately reveal?
Its divine purpose is titled, My True Wealth. Nefesh focuses on manifesting our true inner wealth, giving birth to those projects, those dreams that are part of our life's deepest desires and have reached their divine completion.
Not just material wealth.
No, it represents a profound understanding of our intrinsic value, spiritual abundance. This is the grand expression of healed, balanced, masculine energy, the triumphant culmination of our inner work across all the other dimensions.
So visions in Nefesh are celebratory.
Often vibrant, yes. Bubbles, fireworks, beautiful fragrances like spikenard. Maybe teaching others to fly, symbolizing liberated purpose. You might find hidden gems under hay, or witness a grand celebration over a city, all representing the glorious result, the harvest of what we've created with God.
And the healing focus, what needs addressing here?
Dealing with unfinished projects? Maybe seeing them as dried trees needing cleanup. Releasing projects that didn't work, taking them to Adamah's fireplace for transformation. And crucially, overcoming feelings of being too small or the projects being too big to fully see or accomplish what God has for you. Stepping into the bigness of your calling.
Obstacles sound like those unfinished things, feelings of inadequacy.
Exactly. Those nagging unfinished projects or persistent feelings of inadequacy preventing us from fully seeing or accomplishing what God has. While Yatsar, Dimension 1, is shaping and conceiving, Nefesh is consolidating, birthing, manifesting. Where projects reach maturity, bear fruit. It connects with manifesting actions from Hayah, embodying essence from Adam, slowing blessings from Neshamah, leveraging discoveries from Aphar. It truly is the have in the be, do, have sequence, the joyful harvest.
A beautiful culmination. Let's explore the scriptures. Exodus 31.16. In 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. God's rest.
This describes God's culmination and rest after his creative work. In Nefesh, focused on manifesting inner wealth and fruitful projects, God's rest symbolizes the profound achievement, the satisfaction of seeing dreams fulfilled. The idea of being refreshed after completing work resonates deeply with the true wealth and fullness achieved here, a sense of divine completion, deep satisfaction.
Next, Job 32, verses 19 and 20. Inside I am like bottled up wine, like new wineskins, ready to burst. I must speak so that I may find relief. Ready to burst.
Powerfully evokes that sense of fullness, an imperative need to release what's contained. The image of a belly ready to burst like new wineskins, the act of speaking to be recreated, perfectly aligns with Nefesh's purpose of manifesting what we truly have within. Birthing life projects. It reflects that stage where inner wealth, purpose are so mature, so abundant, they must be expressed, shared, for our own spiritual relief and fulfillment.
And finally for Nefesh, Romans 8.19. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed.
This speaks of eager expectation, a longing for manifestation, revelation. Nefesh is directly associated with the manifestation of purpose, expressing true inner wealth. The manifestation of the children of God resonates deeply with this dimension's goal of revealing the identity, purpose, intrinsic value God placed within us, implying our full realization. Our expression not only fulfills us, but impacts the world around us, which eagerly awaits our emergence.
We've now traversed all 10 vibrant chambers of this inner mansion, but there's one more crucial dimension, the very heart of the entire framework. 11, Chay, the central dimension of full life, the central hallway.
The hallway itself, Chay.
Chay, meaning life, like the Greek Zoe. Life in its most abundant, divine sense. It is the central hallway connecting all 10 dimensions, representing your present life, your access to eternal realms. It's the culmination, integrating everything for complete vitality purpose. What does this central pathway mean?
Its divine purpose is nothing less than living of lives in fullness. Chay offers us the profound capacity to heal, restore, govern our life as fully realized sons and daughters of God, providing direct access to dimensions of our life that exist in eternity, even while we walk on earth.
And it has that fractal structure.
Yes, it's fractal in essence, structured by those Hebrew fractals of 5, HF5, and 2, HF2, elegantly organizing the 10 dimensions into feminine, left, receiving, and masculine, right, giving energies. The Chay hallway itself represents the essential balance, the dynamic flow between these energies, ensuring a harmonious, integrated inner life.
What might the hallway look like in a vision?
Often a physical corridor. Doors on left and right, clear floor, strong roof, open, radiant windows. After healing, it might even reveal an inner waterfall with 2 pure streams flowing on each side, beautifully symbolizing that achieved balance between feminine and masculine.
In healing the hallway itself.
Yes, the focus is restoring the hallway, removing unwanted objects, cleaning spiritual dust, adding divine light, opening windows, ensuring comfortable, accessible, integrated pathways to all chambers, achieving that crucial, vibrant balance within your entire being.
So the hallway itself needs restoration, like the rooms.
Absolutely. Yeah. Obstacles might appear as needing significant work, needing more light, cleaning. Interestingly, if a person's life is, upside down or chaotic before the chambers are restored, the hallway might initially appear reversed or disoriented, reflecting that internal disarray.
Oh.
But when restored, it represents your present life fully connected, aligned with all dimensions, allowing seamless movement, integration between them, providing clear access to eternal realms. It's truly the grand conductor of your inner symphony, orchestrating every part into a cohesive, vibrant life.
An incredible integrating force. Let's look at the scriptures for Chay. Colossians 3:4. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Christ is our life.
This points to a spiritual life intrinsically linked to Christ. Deep, hidden, glorious. Chay, meaning life, acts as that central corridor giving access to all other eternal dimensions. The idea of Christ being your life resonates profoundly with Chay's purpose. Discover and restore our true inner spiritual life so we can experience it in its maximum expression, the living of lives in fullness, reflecting his glory in our present reality. Next, John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full, abundant life. A powerful promise. The Chay revelation centers on the restoration of all our internal dimensions to their original divine design, recovering what the adversary has stolen or corrupted. Chay, as the dimension representing our present life and access to eternal realms, is precisely where this promise of abundant life manifests. The entire process culminates in the Chay hallway, ensuring a life that is full, free, eternally vibrant.
And a truly foundational verse for this whole framework, John 14:2. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? Many rooms.
Absolutely fundamental to understanding Chay revelation as an inner mansion or house with multiple rooms or chambers within us. The structure of Chay is presented as a map of our spiritual human architecture. Each dimension, the hallway, are distinct divine chambers. This powerfully validates the idea our inner being is vast, multidimensional, eternally significant. Exploring, healing each room in Chay allows us to access and dwell more fully in the heavenly places the Father prepared both within and beyond.
Finally, Romans 8:6. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace.
Establishes that clear contrast, spiritual death versus the life and peace from the Spirit. Chay aims for living of lives in fullness, inherently meaning moving away from things bringing death, disorder. Restoring dimensions in Chay results in profound harmony, well-being. where you feel comfortable, at peace in the life given. By cleaning, aligning the internal chambers, we allow our human spirit to lead, connecting us with vitality, life, peace that overcome carnal confusion, bring true spiritual order.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've taken today. We've really walked through the 11 profound dimensions of the Chay framework, from Yatsar's formation,
To Adamah, sanctuary,
the Father's breath in Neshamah and Aphar,
true identity in Adam.
purpose manifested in Nefesh, all interconnected, integrated by that central hallway of Chay, our present and eternal life.
And these aren't just, ancient words or abstract ideas. As Rodrigo and Daniela's story shows, and as countless others have experienced with such profound consistency, these Hebrew words act like real, living keys.
They unlock things.
They unlock specific spiritual dimensions within you. They offer a tangible, divine map to navigate your inner world, identify areas needing attention, and invite supernatural healing, restoration. The consistency across diverse individuals strongly suggests this is a universal blueprint for the human spirit, a design embedded in us all.
So what if your own inner mansion is just waiting to be explored, with rooms ready to be restored, treasures waiting to be uncovered, and a full, abundant life, that life of lives, waiting to be lived out? The clarity, the consistency here offer a pretty compelling invitation, don't you think?
It really does. So as you reflect on this deep dive today, maybe consider this. What if the deepest parts of you aren't chaotic at all? What if they're divinely ordered, meticulously designed, just waiting for the right words, those right ancient keys to finally be unlocked, revealing the magnificent purpose and identity designed for you from the very beginning?
What will you discover when you take that first step into your own Chay hallway?